my name is Samantha and this is my studio. I've got a lot of magazines here. I've got scissors, glue, and paper, and that means only one thing. So I like to do a mood board at the beginning of each year to help me visualize what I want to manifest for the year ahead. My boards tend to be more abstract than you might expect. I tend to focus on overarching themes more than I do specific goals, with a heavy emphasis on vibe and aesthetic. So it's kind of like a vision board, mood board mashup. So basically I flip through magazines, I pull out anything that resonates with me, put it all together on a board and see what kind of images emerge. It feels a little bit divinatory. So I'm gonna flip through some of these magazines and just chat with you about what some of my actual goals are for 2022. My main goal for 2022 is to make more things. And that's really going to be the focus of this YouTube channel. It's me, Samantha, making things in my studio. I'm a designer by trade. I used to work in the publishing industry, art directing, travel, and lifestyle magazines. But last year, I made a pretty big shift and started working with flowers and practicing floral design. So I fully plan for flowers to be a huge part of this year, both in designing with them and also growing them. I had so much fun growing a flower garden last year, and I've got big plans which I'll share with you in a future video. My other main goal for 2022 is to explore my personal style more, both in my home and the way that I dress myself. I feel like both areas are blank slates in my life. We moved into this house 3 years ago, and it's still pretty much the same as when we moved in, and there's so much I want to change, and I finally feel like I have the bandwidth to incorporate some of those changes. My personal style too, I've been essentially cocooned in black clothing for as long as I can remember, and I'm just ready to, I don't know, break free. A big part of that exploration of personal style is through thrifting. I, like everyone else on the internet, love thrifting. To me, it's just such a exciting way to find things that really resonate with you. I have a really hard time buying things new. I mean, like most people, I could go into any store and find something I like. You know, trends are trends for a reason, but it's just not fun. You know, all of those things are there because it's been predetermined that I'm going to like them. And so there's not really any thrill of the hunt. You go into a thrift store and there's just a mishmash of stuff. You never know what you're gonna find. What else do I wanna do this year? I've been seeing some amazing things people are making with paper mache. There's this one woman on TikTok, Corey Beth Makes. She might be on YouTube too. If I can find her, I'll link her. And she makes these amazing vessels out of paper mache and paints them just beautifully. So that's one of my next videos I'm gonna make, is I bought one of her patterns to make this kind of urn vessel. I'm very into using what you have, and especially making something that's gorgeous from what is essentially waste or garbage. And you know, it's 2022 and we really need to be thinking critically about the waste we're creating in our life. So I actually remembered that I have a box of magazine clippings that I've been keeping for years. That might be a good place to start. I guess a good place to continue from, since I've already started. It's been at least a half hour. This is an image that I've been inspired by for quite a long time for our house. This is an interior designer. I really love Rita Koenig, and I just love the dark green wall, and I love the gallery wall. Something about this page, I'm really digging all those colors and textures. 2022, the year of color, the year of making, the year of doing. I just think we all should make things all the time and try things and be creative and explore. And I just want to have fun. I'm just getting too old to not just have fun. And I think age doesn't really have anything to do with it, but I think as I get older, I realize that I'm like, man, I'm not as young as I used to be. And you don't feel that way when you're in your 20s because you haven't been an adult for very long. When you get into your 30s, you're like, oh, I'm at a different version of an adult than I was 10 years ago. And I imagine that just keeps happening as you get older and older. So this is the first kind of revelation I've had where I'm like, oh, I'm not an old person, but I'm not the youngest kind of person there is anymore. Oh, here's Martha Stewart on a camel. Love that. There's so much sad, bad things happening in the world. And I just think there's opportunities every day to feel happy, and I think part of that is in being yourself and figuring out who you truly are. I'm not sure I've ever been truly my authentic self, and I think like what have I sacrificed by trying to fit these ideas I have of what a likable person is or an interesting person. I've never felt free, and I think that's part of what, contributes to feeling sad and or depressed. And I don't know. I just think there's something to exploring authentically who you are. Okay, so I have all my images. So with vision boards or mood boards, I really, like I said, just try and flip through magazines and pull images that resonate with me. I don't think about it too hard. And this one is not about goals per se, but more a general vibe or mood I want to create for the year, and maybe some subtle hints towards the things I want to manifest and cultivate. And like I was saying, I really want to make things this year. I want to dig deep into projects, and that's part of this YouTube channel too, is sharing that process of creating for the sake of creating, trying different crafts and skills. And I'll just go through each image as I'm gluing it down, and then I'll show you the final thing. So the first one I want to start with is this one. If you've ever been told to I don't know, in therapy or whatever, or meditative practice, to imagine a safe place for you, for me it's always in a pond, in a beautiful sparkling pond, and I'm just floating. And I think that's going to be one of the centerpieces. So I'm going to glue that down. And I also just really love the colors, the greens. I feel like green is a big color for me this year. I wonder what the Pantone color of the year is. I haven't heard or looked that up. Not that that means too much, but I'm always curious about where trends are going and what they're doing. So I'm just gluing that down in the center of my piece, like so. The next image that I have that I thought was kind of perfect, ironically perfect, is this illustration of this, I don't know, model or whatever doing, I guess it's embroidery, and it says perfection is overrated. And I love this for many reasons. I love the color and the vibrancy, and obviously the flowers. I like the message because I think that not aiming to do things perfectly is what helps propel creativity forward. I have the first pancake theory, the first pancake you make is always not very good, but you have to get through the first pancake to get your pan ready to make all the good pancakes. And if you're aiming for perfection, the first time you do anything, you never get through that first pancake, and it can be very discouraging. I also, I've been talking about textile arts and crafts a lot, and all the different types that I want to try. So I like the embroidery message on this. So I'm going to glue that down. Okay, then we have kind of a myriad of floral and colorful textures and images. I really thought this dress was fantastic. It's almost like a quilt applique. It's just gorgeous. I love the colors, and I would love to make some clothing like that for myself. So I'm just putting that one there, like so. This is another fashion piece, but I like the quilted texture. I love the idea of patchwork and quilting because you can use a lot of, offcuts of fabric that, normally would get thrown in the trash. And you can create something really beautiful and textural and sometimes quite sentimental, right? Because maybe you're using pieces of fabric from things that mean something to you. Here is that Rita Koenig house. I think I'm going to add that on. Just going to trim it because I've had this clipping for a number of years, and I always keep coming back to it as, a space that I really like the feeling of. I love this flower arrangement. I love the contrast of the blue porcelain with the vibrant colors of the tulips and daffodils. I am really seeing this vision coming together of flowers, flowers, flowers. And I like this one. One thing I've really been enjoying is experimenting with different ways of preserving flowers, including pressing flowers. So I thought that image was good. Let's put this one on next. I highly recommend you try this out. It's pretty fun, it's pretty satisfying, and it's kind of a nice thing to just keep as a record. So there's such a useful and visual way just to get your ideas out. Should we put Martha on there? Martha's doing all these interesting things. She's painting a mural, she's gardening. Ah, look, it looks like she's cooking pancakes. You know, I bet even Martha Stewart has a first pancake. She probably has many first pancakes. You gotta get through the first pancake. All right, cap the glue. Never forget to cap your glue, and cap it tight. The worst thing is coming back to a glue stick and having it be all dried out because you didn't put the cap on tight enough. I'm pretty excited to see how this has evolved. I think 2022 is going to be the year of doing, making, exploring my personal style. It's going to be the year of color and infusing color into all aspects of my life. And the year is going to be heavily involved in nature around me, in growing my flower garden and working with flowers and learning about nature and the different ways to use it and appreciate it. Thanks for hanging in there with me. It's my first video. I would love if you would subscribe, share the video with your friends, anyone that you think would be interested in it. And thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.